What up, Schmoedown fans and random rockers? Schmoedown rocks, and this week was essentially finals and third place essentially match. Tuesdays was third place match between, as you probably see with the way I did the thumbnail for this week, which it doesn't seem that different from the last one, but hopefully it's a little more clear of what's going on this week's match as opposed to the last week's. This one, or at least I try to. Third place match, which is Tuesdays, which was between Draco and Merle. And then Friday's match, which was the finals between Clark Wolf and Ethan Irwin. Which, the third place match event, which, given everything that's happened with that one, Draco wasn't too worried, and plus he kind of said something right at the beginning of the match, or at least written on the board, and said to them, that he was pretty tired, and I knew that was going to play a factor, and Merle was just more itching to want to at least, come closer to the belt, even if he couldn't win the belt for the year, or at least make it to the finals. So him getting the third place one, and it basically did end with him getting the third place one. And yeah, and Draco's definitely dealing with the whole Ready to Rumble and certain other categories, and certain other movie that he's never watched that once again kind of screwed him over. Well, from actually he wound up being TKO'd by Merle, which Merle needed that after the TKO with Irwin. And, now he's at least in the Spectacular, and he's somewhat closer to the belt. Though now he's going to have to, and we get a rematch of basically, and he's at least confirmed by this win to wind up advancing into the Schmoedown Spectacular for the number one contender match. Who he would be facing is a matter of who would win. Who would lose the finals match, and of course the winner going on to be the number one contender going for the belt at the Spectacular. The winner of the number one contender match that's going to be at the Spectacular is going to be whoever goes to the live event for New York, which I'm definitely not making that, I'll tell you that. Which is sad, but, kind of low, not making much on money myself. Living colder days of the year where I'm at, but, yeah. So I gotta make do with what I can. Barely even got lucky enough to see the Spider-Man, which check that review, if you can. But anyway, the match, even the promos were nice. The promo for, the first match, for the third place match, the first one being kind of a sort of an ode to the Fast Times Return High, more specifically the whole dynamic and the scenes that Sean Penn and the one Sean Penn's character and the one teacher would have in the film. If I'm getting the name of the film right, I know it's a certain particular 80s film, but I'm not sure if I got the name right. I could be wrong. I might be right with it. I don't know. But you can let me know in the comments below if need be. But I will say that was funny. I needed some faith in Wild Berries again, to some extent, after the way these tournaments went about, because especially the Anarchy one, which I understood. No, I was basically going that far underdog in terms of the tournament, and at least my second place idea would have worked out in and of itself, and with the whole who's the boss thing. But anyway, the whole thing with I'm blanking. I hate when I do that. The whole thing with following that one was some funny little thing with William Bibiani and Thad Williams involving his whole thing where he's wanting to be a consultant for ring entrances or something. Which is funny. him trying to, fix up his office or something, which isn't much of an office, for being honest with that. Then we get finally to the finals match. It's Clark Wolf and Ethan Irwin. And that one was actually a good finals match. Definitely a solid finals match. For sure, and definitely feels like it's a match that should be on a Friday. And definitely gets you through the weekend. So, that one was awesome. It was actually, it was pretty good. I kind of would have liked Clark Wolf, but I'm okay with, but at this point, given, who I really wanted in the finals, I'm okay with whatever. Congrats. Sorry, I see a cat. Walking down by my car. I'm distracted. So anyway, but congrats the winner, which winds up being Ethan Irwin. And just the whole thing with Jay Washington managing him, his change in attitude that he's really just using just because he's got a nice little meal ticket. Or his nice little golden ticket in Ethan Irwin. Especially if he winds up winning the title. Though I think a lot of people are banking on Roca winning. Though I could somehow see Ethan with an upset, but I would probably rather see Roca at least be able to retain and put him at least this, which basically will wind up edging him out against Mark Riley, given that I don't think Mark Riley has ever, that I'm aware of, as far as I'm aware of, I don't think he's ever retained the belt once. So for Roca, it would be somewhat of a step up for him to finally at least retain it once to prove something, and him doing it in spectacular would be nice. And I kind of would like that anyway, more so because hopefully, mainly because I think a lot of people wouldn't mind seeing either a Roca versus Dan live, or technically two. I don't know why they say three. Even though that was a triple threat was the last match they were in together, so I'm confused with that. But I guess because Riley was out so quickly that it may as well have been considered as Roca versus Merle again 2 or something. I don't know. But that would be nice, but I think a lot of people really would like to see Clark Wolf versus. More so see Clark Wolf. More likely Clark Wolf seems to be, since she's a little bit more in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Merle finds a way to pull it off. Now that or at least it seems like Clark Wolf seems far hungrier than Merle to me, because he's already had the belt twice. I don't think he's as hungry as Clark is, because she's come so close to the belt twice already. Once already against Merle, and having faced Sam Levine, who had to retire the belt. Both members of both her and her partner, and all big single competitor members of Fight Club have actually went up for the belt. So it's definitely been so far, I think, a really solid year in Schmoedown. For sure. And it sucks for Clark, because if she had just said one word correctly, she would have made it. And that's what it kind of hurts, but she still has a chance for the belt. She's going to be a number one contender match, so that'll work, hopefully. I kind of want her to win, so we can finally stop having this thing where they're dodging each other, seemingly. Also, it's just the whole thing with how they are with Riley. I think this was handled better, because it's at least in the sense that they're actually, realize Riley's kind of still good for the time being. Don't know if he'll go full heel or not. He seems to kind of be tweener at the moment, or at least he has to play tweener just because he wants to win that belt. And he came pretty damn close, given that they went into semifinals against the team that wound up having won the belts in Above the Line, which that team dissolved, and so did that, and which the team we're now getting in after all that, Take the Cannoli, I'm actually happy. I'd actually be far happier with, especially for Brienne, since, she kind of, the team she wound up having was a fine, but you literally chose a competitor no one even knew, that was new to the game, in a championship match, and it was kind of wasted. And you may as well have just given the belt to the Shire Wolves at that point, but at least you made it seem like they'd earned it by at least taking them to round 4. So, at the very least, if you took it to round 5, it'd be even more impressive on their part. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with what we got with that. But, it's a shame how it turned out with that. I'm hoping that I'm hoping for things. Let's just say the spectacular coming up this Friday. We're supposed to get a preview Tuesday, so there's not really much going on. And plus, given the spectacular super long, I understand them just doing a little preview thing. And whatever, I'm not that into what's going to be happening with the Schmoedown then. Tuesday's thing is going to be whatever. Though this is a spoiler for people now, for those who haven't seen, because it turns out there is a stake, was a thing with the Patreon match this past month, in the November one. That was at stake. There was literally a movie release dates theme one, and it was definitely on the line, and the whole wheel slice thing of whose face was going to be on it would be on the line. It was actually on the line, after all, but it wouldn't come into effect until next season, which means, especially after the whole storyline with and it was more so for between Bateman. It was Adam Hlavik, the only Inner Geekdom player to actually be somewhat successful or consider somewhat of a strength in movie release dates. And then, of course, the former really retired champ in Sam Levine. Well, you could tell there's a little bit of ring rust, but he's still pretty dang good at for the most part, was doing pretty well in that Iron Man match, going neck and neck. Given that the last match he was an Iron Man match, so for him it was kind of easier to ease into going into that. So, which is why it's easier for him to kind of at least keep up, or at least, maintain for a while. Though up until the buzzer round, which he did well enough I don't think he got any wrong. But anyway, overall, that Ben was closing in, but for the most part, it was Mance had to win, and he didn't even need to study for it, because he was confident he was going to get the wheel slice back. So by the time the next season rolls around, you'll see the movie release dates is on the wheel. You'll finally once again see Mance's mug, as it so deserved, and so deserved, I guess. Though Ben was trying to come pretty close to proving that he deserved that wheel slice anyway, so at least you still have your wheel slice for a while this season. Hopefully that goes over well with that, and who knows, they may extend that rivalry into another Patreon matchup for next season. But yeah, overall, with all the stuff that I've seen thus far, Schmoedown has been pretty good. But yeah, I like this. Between all the Patreon match for everyone that is now released for everyone, as opposed to the holiday one, which I'm guessing is coming up sometime soon-ish, maybe. And I think they're going to wind up releasing the Patreon matchups following Spectacular, just to kind of hold over until they starting up the new season with the live show and between the live show. The show is going to be live, and from a lot of suggestions, they're going to actually probably try to do the Schmoedown Awards live-ish, or live stream it probably. Although I'm not sure I'll be able to see the live stream of it. But, well, anyway. As far as I'm concerned, the matches were nice. They were pretty good. It was definitely very neck and neck. I think Clark Wolf is starting to have some issues. within the second round, but that buzzer round did help her for a while. Although it's just a shame the way, and it was definitely neck and neck up until her 5-pointer in that round. But yeah, that's about it, guys. What did you think of all the matches, including the now Patreon exclusive for everyone that's now under $1 tier? That was the November $10, and now it's the $1 for this month. What did you guys think? Leave a comment below. Let me know, as always. If you rock that like button with thrust if you must, if you like this video. And as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. If you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown